Touchdown, Amundsen. Bryce Reven. Bryce Reven.
Bro, and that's was that on?
I hope so. We had some technical difficulties out the gate. And now, in case you missed it, Bryce Reven with a long touchdown reception. The Vikings are up 6-0, attempting the PAT. Wow, Seifert to Bryce Reven to open up the season. The kick is up, straight down the middle. And the Vikings open up with a 7-0 lead. Notes from that drive is Vikings ran the ball pretty well, fooled the defense, and this Marshall secondary was pretty late to react. There's 8:29 left in this first quarter. For those who are joining us, it's 12-minute quarters for high school football. The Vikings received the opening kickoff. So this will be Marshall's first possession of this young season, this 2026 football season. Vikings up 7, Bryce Reven touchdown. Things have been going near perfect for the Vikings thus far. Garcia to kick. A bouncer received at the 30. Vikings swarming. He got up the middle. He's got room. Marshall down at around the 35-yard line. What a return, Vikings. Left the middle open, and Marshall is cooking with gas in their offensive zone right out the gate. See how the Vikings defense, I feel like the defense has always been strong for the Vikings for these past couple of seasons. Notable players on defense is captain, number 15, Logan Payon, who plays linebacker. Marshall fumbles the snap. That's a loss of about a yard. The Vikings, too hot to handle, and Marshall had some trouble getting the snap through. It's second and long. The Vikings ready to start this season with a hot defensive stop. A stacked backfield Marshall has. Number 2 in motion. He gets the end around. Vikings swarm him right at the line of scrimmage. Little commotion after the whistle, but the Vikings swallow him up. It's third and long. Big stop for Amundsen. If I had a tip for them, I would say stay composed. Don't let them beat you over the top. Let's see what this Amundsen defense brings. You got 4 in the line of scrimmage to line up. Let's see how those linebackers react. Looks like they'll show blitz. Catch. First down, Marshall. Got past 2 guys, and now they're inside the red zone. That was a huge pickup for Marshall. 3rd and long. Drops back to the pass play. Hits him in stride. And their receiver did a great job getting past multiple Vikings defenders. Looks like Marshall is taking it slow after the first down, setting up their plays as they should to start the season. In motion, QB takes it. Big hit Solario with the arm. Takes that shoulder pad, installs him enough time for the rest of the Vikings defense to swarm him and bring him down. Vikings showing really well. Their linebackers and defensive line is playing very strong up front. Second and about 8 for Marshall. They got 3 wide receivers in this formation with the tailback. And it looks like a tight end. Marshall takes the snap, keeps it, and gets swallowed down. Nice play. That's a TFL. I think that was number 52. Zach Wims. The Vikings playing really well at the line of scrimmage here. Four and a half minutes to go. 3rd down and 11. Quarterback went all the way to the sideline to get the play, which is pretty common in high school football. Lining up in shotgun. There's a flag. Looks like a delay of game or a false start. Let's see. False. Oh, it's a delay of game, which will just back them up even further, which probably puts them out of field goal range. They've not seen Marshall's kicker since the kickoff. And it didn't look like he could hit from 30 plus. The Vikings, 3rd and long. Quarterback takes the ball, looks towards the sideline, up the middle. Off the fingertips and incomplete. The Vikings get a stop here, and now it's a question of what do you do here? 4th and long. I think it's about 4th and 16. It doesn't look like they want to kick it, so it's the matter of, do they go for it here? Because if the Vikings take over, they're not necessarily in great field position, and I think it's worth the chance to go for the end zone or the first down. The ball's on the 20. The snap, the quarterback with pressure to the end zone. Overthrown. Great stop by the Vikings. And they'll take over at around the 21-yard line. The offense on the field. What has worked well for the offense is their receivers. Bryce Reven was wide open past the secondary. It's this Marshall secondary that was a little confused out the gate. Amundsen here to take the ball over. Here comes the Vikings. For those who just joined us, number 6, Seifert. That's Jake Seifert as the quarterback today. With number 8, Fulmar, Milton Fulmar, the tailback. Some pre-snap mishaps. And it looks like it's a timeout. Timeout, Marshall. BO. Very important water break here. So it still will remain 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Talking it up with the coach, seeing what they can draw up here. I don't know how they usually do it, but I know in college and professional football, they tend to script their drives, which means that they write out all the plays before they happen and just go through a chart so they don't have to draw them up as they see it. Timeout has ended, and the Vikings look to take over here. Seifert in the shotgun position. Bryce Reven, the X factor so far, with the touchdown, is on the short sideline. Seifert, play action. He keeps it. He's going up the middle, swarm, and brought down. It's a gain of 6. What a run by Seifert. So far, we've seen him throw the ball well and run the ball well. It's looking like he'll be a key contributor to this Vikings football season. Three receivers and a tailback. Play action again. Screen pass to the outside, overthrown. Seifert failed to set his feet. Threw it on the run. Tough throw there. And kind of rushed the process. Now he's going to go to the sideline. Take the play. Drawing it up here. It's going to be 3rd and short. 3rd and 4. The Vikings got to go for their bread and butter play here. The one that they're most confident in. They're still in their own end. Seifert got the play, drew it up in the huddle. Is ready to snap. Fulmar switches sides. The handoff. Keeper. Seifert juking, finding his way through, and fights for a 1st down. It's a nice play by Seifert, as you saw there. He took it slow, stalked up his defense, found his route, and just kind of carried with the blockers just for enough yards to get that 1st down. Move those chains as the Vikings make a substitution. Looks like the tailback Fulmar comes out. First and 10 for the Vikings. Seifert takes the high snap. Has some trouble with it, and it's fumbled. Those are the type of things you'll see early in the season, especially for these young high school teams where just some of these plays haven't been practiced enough or they haven't seen game action with them, or it's tough to get them routinely and get them down. As you just saw there, it was a high snap, turned into a miscommunication with the handoff, and it was a loss of about 3. The Vikings will look to bounce back after the miscommunication. 2nd and long. Seifert takes the high snap again. Scans. Fires to Shea O'Connor, the receiver, and it's just too high. Looked like if he had caught that pass, he had a lot of room to work with. So now it's going to be a tough, daunting task for 3rd and long. That's what happens when you have a miscommunication on the first down play, it kind of jeopardizes your position and puts it in not a good position. You get 4 downs to work with in football, and burning one certainly is not ideal. 3rd and long. Vikings. Seifert drops back with pressure. It looks like the receiver fell down. I don't know if that was some sort of pass interference, but they're just going to call it incomplete and let him play on. And the punt team comes on to boot it away. See, a punt here in football is very important. A good punt here would completely flip the field position and give Marshall, try to pin them inside their own 30, you'd hope. I'm live. Yeah. The Vikings to punt it away. Snap is good. Punt is good. Spiraling. Right about the 25. It's caught. Bobbled. Fights his way through. And the Vikings look to swarm him up. And he's caught up around the 25-yard line, but they'll give him forward progression at the 27. Some good punt coverage by the Vikings. Solid punt. Spiraling. And the Vikings special teams have improved vastly throughout this game. Looks like a timeout with 1.5 minutes left of this first quarter. A good punt can really change the tide of a high school football game. There's only so many scoring chances with the shorter quarters and the slower plays. That punt there was pretty well done. Snap was good. Kick was great. And Marshall, low snap. Trouble with it. That's a TFL. Swarmed by 5 Vikings defenders with a huge loss of 5. That's not once but twice that has happened thus far. Looked like DB Samaj Holland showed blitz there and really cracked down on him. Second and long. Vikings lining up in defense. It's a run play. The end around. Swallowed up. Marco Celerio with the huge tackle. It looks like the refs are discussing a face mask on the play, which would be costly and kind of ruin this. Let's see what the white cap has to say. Marco Celerio gets called for a face mask. And that kind of ruins those 2 huge stops. It's all right. You got to stay disciplined. So I believe it turns over here to first down with that 15-yard gain. The refs are still discussing what they're going to do here. Marshall lined up in between the hashes. Moved up to the 35-yard line. Takes the snap, drops back, looks for the screen. Low pass caught. Vikings with a nice tackle after the gain of 3.5 on that design screen pass. In high school football, you tend to see a lot of designed short passing plays to beat the defense, fool the eyes of the defender. And execution is very important in those situations. That will be the end of the first quarter. As time will tick down, both teams elect to let it be, as the Vikings with a 7-up lead against Marshall. It was Bryce Reeven's touchdown that put the Vikings in such a great spot. And the Vikings defense have been playing very well.
What do you do?
Put some back about 4 yards. It's now 3rd and about 10. Marshall, keeper, quarterback, juking. Wow, what a nice run for a first down there. A nice delayed option there. Looked like both players held the ball for about a split second or maybe even longer. The quarterback saw the defense and took his route for the first down. It's rough for the Vikings defense. Quarterback run on 3rd and long. Marshall resetting the chains. Looks to pass. Vikings all over it. Interception. He's got it. That's Declan Daly. The turnover. Diving interception. Wow, Vikings. What a play. You knew the Vikings were all over that one. The quarterback had nowhere to throw it. Threw it right up the middle. Daly was just sitting there. Now the Vikings will take over with pretty good field position right about on the 40-yard line. Last Vikings drive ended in a punt. Punt was pretty successful because they got the ball back with the turnover. The end around to Soto. Soto tried to get to the sideline and couldn't end up going forward and lost the Vikings a good chunk of yardage there. So I think at the end of the day, you just got to go forward as much as you can. That's why those end arounds are difficult, because when they do work, that's not a lot of space. But the defense just cracked down on him and couldn't seem to get to the outside. 2nd and long. See if the Vikings can get some forward yardage here. Looks like Gonzalez, the tailback, in. Soto in motion. Quarterback keeper. Seifert with a lot of room to run. He's going to get stuck and swallowed up after a gain of about 2.5. Now it's 3rd and long. What do you do, the Vikings? Seeing if you can pass the ball deep. Those are always the hardest to do, but last time they threw the ball over 15 yards. It was completed for a touchdown to Bryce Reven. About under 10 minutes left in the half. Solid turn up of fans here in Jornt Stadium. 3rd and long. The Vikings line up. 3 receivers, a tight end, and a tailback as the Vikings take a timeout. I believe that is their first charge timeout of the half. Both teams get 3. The Vikings coaching staff drawing up the plays for this 3rd and long. I'd say, again, if you can beat this sloppy secondary and Marshall over the top and just do the same thing that they did with Bryce Reven for that touchdown, that's probably what you're looking at. Looks like the tailback, Gonzalez, is still out there, so there's still a chance that they would run the ball. As Marshall is taking their sweet time with that water break in the timeout. Vikings are already ready. See if they can catch Marshall wrong-footed here. Again, 3 receivers, a tight end, and a tailback. The ball is ready. Clock will start. Seifert looking for the screen pass. That's Wilson. Couldn't get to the first down marker. We got a solid chunk of yards. Let's see what the Vikings do here. Looks like they're going to go for it, because we don't see the punt team out. And there it is. Coach Olsen calls the punt team. The punt team has done a solid job thus far. They've only had to punt once this game, but worked pretty well. All starts with a good snap. On team ready. Snap is golden. Kick. Touch at around the 34-yard line. Marshall will take over at the 34-yard line. The coaches were yelling at the punt team to kind of touch the ball and get possession of it, because if it deflects off of them, I believe the ball is still live. So that was almost a costly mistake, but Marshall was sleeping, as well as the Amundsen Vikings. You'll see those types of mishaps happen, especially in the first game. If I haven't mentioned this, but the Vikings are wearing their sweet new red helmets with the helmet stickers. They've always worn gray helmets, but these red helmets really complete the all-red uniform. Make it look pretty sleek. Marshall takes over. Quarterback looks to pass. Here comes the pressure. Can he get around it? He takes the ball to run, and a big hit by Payon. There's a heads-up play by the quarterback to get past the line of scrimmage and kind of tuck the ball and run it for forward yardage. Seven minutes to go in this first half. The end around cuts up the middle. The Vikings swallow him after a gain of a short 1 yard. It's third and short here. See what the Vikings have to do. Another timeout. Marshall took their second timeout of the half. It's a crucial play coming up. It's a third and about 2 coming right up. Marshall drawing up their play. The whistle signifies both teams getting back on the field. Again, Vikings lead 7-0. Just under 7 minutes to go. Hand off on third and short. And he's short of the first down marker. Minus yards. Huge stop. Fourth and about 5 here. Marshall calling their play, bringing their offense out. Looks like they might punt it here. Or run it short. They got everyone bunched up. They don't even know the play call. It's a run right up the middle. Gets by all Vikings. He's got room to run. Slides down for a huge fourth down pickup. Whatever that was worked perfectly. They bunched up all the offensive linemen and just paved the way for a block. It's the clock will run here. First and 10 for Marshall. Take the snap. Handoff right up the middle. Didn't get much work and fell forward for a gain of about 2 yards. As Zach Wims just entered the field of play. came in for Samaj Holland. 2nd and long. Vikings bring blitz. Wims gets right through. Quarterback takes it. Vikings can't seem to wrap him up as the quarterback fought for those extra yards just short of the first down marker. It's going to be 3rd and short. Let's see if they bring out that same formation as they did and bunch all the linemen just to pick up these inches here. The Viking fans cheering for a stop here. It is 3rd and short. Looks like they're going to elect their traditional formation. As the sidelines pumping up the crowd here for 3rd and short. Marshall in the Vikings territory around the 24-yard line. The snap, the handoff, you swallowed up. Huge stop. Zach Wims, I believe, was on the tackle. Huge stop, swallowed up, and now it's a huge 4th down play. Three minutes to go in this first half. Marshall does a good job chewing the clock, preserving this time. So if the Vikings do get a stop, they don't have much time to convert with a score. Three minutes and 18 seconds to be exact. Huge play call here for Marshall. See what the Vikings will bring. Marshall still taking their sweet time to drop the play. Coaches let the players know what play they're going to be running here. 4th down. Vikings in huge position. Looks like they're bringing blitz, and they will. Vikings, Celerio can't get him. Quarterback running in free space, big hit. There's a flag on the play. Let's see what they call. Looks like it's going to be holding on the offense. And if there's not a first down, the Vikings will decline. Looks like it was a first down. So they're going to have to put the ball all the way back, take another 5 yards off or 10 yards off because they're holding. I don't know what the call is here. I believe it's short of the first down. They're going to bring the ball to the chains to see if they get an official measurement here. I know the refs are discussing whether it was short, and the Vikings would obviously decline and take the ball over, or if it was a first down, we'd have to redo 4th down. Here's the call. It's a 4th down. So now they're going to bring the ball back. And I think it will go all the way back 10 yards. They're going to redo 4th down. Things are sorted out now. This clock didn't tick off much. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first half. So this is much better for the Vikings. It's going to be a long ways to get a first. Ball's all the way back at the 37. Now, quarterback looking to drop. Get right through. Screen pass. He's got room to work with, but it won't even be close to enough. He was 10 yards short. The Vikings get the stop. Now it comes down to about a 2.5-minute drill here. I don't know if they practice these in high school, but they got to figure out how to move the ball quick, maybe involve a couple of spikes, and hopefully get in scoring position with at least enough time to call timeout, seal the deal with a field goal, or see if they can march all the way in the end zone for a touchdown. This is what these players live for, though, the pressure. It's a huge spot for the Vikings, I'd say. See what they can do. Try to avoid any sort of turnover. Don't go too quick so Marshall gets the ball back. That's the ball. It's the game mode. What is this? It looks like they took their final timeout. Coach Olsen had something to bark about. I believe it was that he thought they already used all of the 3 timeouts, but timeout is called nonetheless. So, yeah, Coach Olsen probably just reminding the team to get out of bounds, stop the clock, see what they can do, and just know that at the end of the day, they just got to somehow advance the ball and hopefully lead to points. Still bring a tailback in. 4 more. Seifert. Looking to see what he can do here. First and 10. Seifert rolls out. Sets his feet. Big throw. He's got Soto. Caught. The 20. 10. Wrapped up right around the 5-yard line. What a play. Great ball from Seifert to Aiden Soto, the senior, celebrating that one. And now they might want to run some clock out. What a nice play. Perfect ball. Perfect catch. It's still a great effort by the DB on Marshall to hawk him down to prevent a score. So now the Vikings can pretty much do whatever they want here. Now that they're within 5 yards of a score. Seifert with that huge throw. Take the snap in shotgun position. Hands it up the middle. Fulmar fighting towards the end zone. And it's a touchdown. Amundsen. I believe that was Fulmar up the middle. Vikings did a great job on special teams with their punts and their point afters. Let's see if they can continue that and make it 14-0. It was huge to score, but there's still 2 minutes and 4 seconds left on the clock for Marshall use. See if they can at least make it within a score or put something on the board. It's Garcia, the kicker. The snap is good. Kick is up, and it's perfect. Vikings up 14-0. Pretty solid half all around for the Vikings. As they're already ready for their kickoff position. This is where the lack of a large roster comes in factor. I feel like the Vikings have different players on special teams, offense, defense. They have fresh legs. They get rested. This Marshall team came on the road, arrived late, and looks like they have about half as many men as the Vikings do. They're tired. They're gassed. They have guys playing both sides of the ball, special teams and all. And they got to try to get back. See if they can score here. The Vikings to kick it off. Marshall's not ready. Looks like they're still resting their legs. Kickoff. Kickoff team's ready. Like in high school, the kickoffs at the 40-yard line gives these kickers a lot of room to work with. I believe that's 5 yards closer than it is in college at 35. Vikings ready. Here comes the kickoff. Nice one. But it will end up out of bounds, which will be a flag, which will put the field position, I believe, at the 35-yard line. That didn't run much clock off. Did not run any clock off, so it's still 2 minutes and 4 seconds. And it looks like the ball is on the 35-yard line. Vikings defense is rolling with a good 4th down stop and interception. They're doing a great job overall thus far, shutting out Marshall. But Marshall has had some big plays. I feel like when they get in space, they're really good at juking out this Vikings secondary. The Vikings have still prevented this Marshall offense from getting within 15 yards of the end zone. Marshall still drawing up their play. They got 2 receivers, tight end and a tailback in. Screen pass. Vikings swallow them up, but not after the gain of about 3 yards. Milton Fulmar had the touchdown earlier for the Vikings, as did Bryce Reven to make the score 14-0. Second and long. Marshall. They have to advance the ball somehow. They've been doing a ton of screen passes and QB options, but their downfield passing has not had great success. And I believe that's the strength with this Vikings secondary. Doing a good job intercepting, breaking up passes, and especially with the blitz, making this quarterback very uncomfortable. There's a flinch. That's pretty obvious. That's 65 in white. That's a false start. It's unfortunate. Resets them back to around 2nd and pretty long now, 13. That happens, though, especially in the first game of the high school season. It's not in conference, so there's not too much pressure going, but turn that state bid, and the receiver running the route, back-to-back false starts. He's in his own world there. He's on a different wavelength than the entire rest of the team. The refs have had a pretty easy job today calling these calls. I feel like face masks that was called. It's pretty obvious. False starts like this are quite obvious. Clock is running. We're under a minute to go. Looks like Marshall has to make a last-ditch effort, or see if they can just run the ball out to expire the clock. Looks like they will snap it here as they have to. Also take a delay of game. And within 40 seconds, they take it. End around. Solario couldn't quite get the tackle, but he runs him out of room. And Wesley Walker with a huge crunching hit. You could hear it from here. Knocks him out of bounds. And we'll stop the clock. About 30 seconds. If I'm the Vikings here, you just cannot let them beat you over the top at all. No touchdowns, but maybe give them some space, run some cover 4. Means bring those safeties back and those wide side corners. Looks like they got 2 safeties in the backfield, but they still got the linebackers lined up on the outside. It's another screen pass to the outside. Nice executed play. Spins off the tackle, but gains about a yard, and the clock will, I believe, run out the half. And the Vikings up 14. Marshall, nothing. Vikings defense playing very well. And that's it. Coach officially calls the end of the half. We should clap it up here and applaud the Vikings for a very good first half. Just recapping the notable plays. It was Bryce Reven, touchdown early. Huge pass. Seifert did a nice throw there. Reven had no one and waltzed into the end zone. And then we had an interception. Declan Daly diving interception. Turns the ball over. Then eventually it leads to a Jake Seifert. Huge throw to Soto, who runs all the way to the 5 and sets up an easy run for the Vikings. So now both teams will take a break at half. We'll join you in the second half. As the Vikings receive first half kick that turns it over, and now Marshall will receive. Vikings defense has been great in this first half. See if they can turn that over to the second half. We got just about 15 seconds till the second half is underway. All right, both teams look ready. Let's see when the ref counts us down, gives us the whistle. There it is, and second half is underway. Here's the kick. Short kick right around the 25-yard line, and it will bounce. Here's some trouble. Vikings, huge hit. Great by the coverage of number 8, Fulmer. Just got his legs early, right, as he caught the ball. It was a mistake for him letting it bounce there. And now Marshall will take over at their own 25-yard line. Thing is, you don't see many touchbacks from these kickers. They like to put the ball in play and make special teams do their job, as they did. Fulmer with a great tackle. And Marshall will take over. So how they ran their offense staff was a lot of QB options and design screen passes to the outside. They're going to run it the same, I would assume, because their downfield passing has not worked very well. Steps back, another design screen pass. Number 2 does a great job getting the outside. He's got the first down. Outside. Marshall cutting back again. Finally brought down after the 11th man in the Vikings seemed like. Had to take about just about everyone to get him down. He's been doing a pretty good job. Number 2, the wideout. The first and 10. Marshall doesn't have many subs to use, so they're going to stay out on the field. They're getting tired out. Drops back to pass again. This one's a downfield pass. It's tipped and nearly intercepted. Great job by the Vikings to alter that pass. QB did not take the best read on it. There were receivers open, but it would have taken a mean fastball to get it to them. Second down and 10 after the incompleted pass. That was tipped. As it's a misdirection handoff. He's got speed, lowers the shoulder. Jackson Daly meets him halfway after a huge gain of 15 plus. Marshall, where was this in the first half? A good balance of passing and big runs. I'm telling you, all you got to do is put these guys in space. They will juke out their opponent. They'll work on getting into the end zone, which they haven't done yet. But the way things are going this drive, might be a matter of snaps. Vikings maybe a little rattled here on defense. Looks like they're still calm and confident. It's a test of resilience here after these huge plays. Goes out to the outside. He's open. Number 2 catches the ball, tries to juke him out, but you got to go forwards, man. That's a loss of 3 yards. I guess he fell forward, so it's a loss of 2. And it's 2nd and long. Quarterback did a good job rolling out to the outside, had to rush the pass there. Eventually got it out. It was caught. So now it's 2nd and 12. Right on the 40-yard line. In Vikings territory. Marshall will take the snap. Marshall in the white. Running. Nice hit. Guess who? The senior captain, Sam Macaluso. Shows great agility, great strength. That's a little bit to celebrate about. It's 3rd and long, 3rd and 11 to be exact. Under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Back to pass. Big throw. He's open. It's a first down. Forward progression will give him the first down. It's a good job by the Vikings defense to get him right as he caught it, but that throw is near perfect. Wide receiver was just about to turn around, and as he did, the throw came right in the breadbasket for an easy pitch and catch. First down. Vikings got to stay strong. They've let this Marshall offense convert on some big 3rd and longs. As the sideline is chanting defense, try to get the crowd involved, try to get these players fired up. As Vikings do play great defense, it's just Marshall combating that with great ball movement. Snap is bobbled low. It was touched by the tailback, who was on a knee, which marks the play as dead. It's about the 3rd time that's happened for Marshall. Having some trouble with the snap, burning a play, which just makes these drives harder and harder. We haven't seen a punt from Marshall. We've seen some great 4th down conversions and some 4th down turnovers, but we've never seen a punt, and we have not seen a field goal, as they haven't really been in range for one. But I'm curious to see what they'll do. I believe they'll go for it. They'll use all 4 downs anyway. But after that lost snap, it's going to be 2nd and long. Both quarterbacks are on shotgun. Another low snap. It's picked up wide open. Number 2. He got by the first one. And Celerio dragged him by the shoulder pads, dragged him down there. It's a nice tackle. Coaches, of course, have something to say, because you can't keep letting these receivers beat the first man every time. Got to see a nice play, which we have seen. These Vikings are very capable of stopping the screen pass. I think the coach was saying something about a lack of hustle, but I saw a decent effort. 3rd and short. Again, I don't think this is too important, as Marshall is pretty set on using all 4 downs. There's a snap cadence. Another low snap. Quarterback tucks it a run. He's going to pitch it. Big hit. Is it intercepted or caught? I can't tell. They're going to rule it as a catch and give him a first down on the 3rd and short conversion. What a nice heads-up play by number 15, the quarterback. I saw him communicating with his receiver, and he rolled out to the right side as a left-handed quarterback. It's hard to make that throw, so he opted to pitch it. Something you'd see out of Patrick Mahomes. Nice play. Marshall having trouble with their subs. As they're going to call timeout after they have no idea what they're doing. Much needed water break with 6:12 to go in the third quarter. Vikings up 14. Marshall nothing. Ball's in the red zone, 14-yard line after that nice first down gain. Marshall knocking on the door of their first score of the entire game here. Vikings have done their best to delay points for Marshall. Quarterback for Marshall is heating up. He's completed his last 3 passes, I believe. But it's that trouble with the snap has been haunting this Marshall offense to see if they can get a clean snap. It's like they'll run the end around with tons of space, but he fell down. As there will be a flag. Let's see what we have there. It looks like the ref is relaying something along the lines of a holding call. The flag was thrown. He picked up. And it was holding on the offense, as I thought, which makes it first and long, first and 20 here. First down is basically in the end zone. That pushes them out of the red zone, which is at Marshall. Second they had things going, they have trouble with the snap. They have penalties. They just have false starts, holdings. Just these minor penalties stack up and really haunt them and really jeopardize their position to score. Marshall again having some trouble calling the plays. Vikings defense is just waiting for their moment. Maybe it's another Declan Bailey interception. Maybe it's another TFL by Zach Wins. On the other hand, the quarterback for Marshall has been doing a great job. Number 2's in motion. They're going to fake the end around. 15 to the outside. Wim's going to get him. Throws it. It's the pylon just short. Would have been a crazy nice throw. But at the end of the day, 15, the white is human as well. He couldn't turn around and make the crossbody throw. You don't see that very much. Rolling out right side is a left-handed quarterback. Flipping his hips, turning around, and he still got that. A good 25 yards in the air. Mind you, he had Vikings defenders chasing him with heads of steam also, so he had to get rid of that quickly. There's 5 minutes to go. The Vikings, 2nd and 15 after the incompletion. Shotgun position. Takes the snap. Looks downfield. There's pressure. Shea O'Connor forces the fumble. Ball's on the ground. You cannot advance a fumble. So Shea O'Connor with a huge sack and forces the fumble. What a play. Big play. Shea keeps backing up the Marshall offense. It's going to be a shot in the dark to convert. But Marshall does have it in them. They've converted on 4th and longs, 3rd and longs. They've done a great job combating this Vikings defense. But I believe the Vikings can stand strong here and make a stop. The coaches are yelling at the play call. Looks like they have the wrong call. See if the Vikings can just get their feet set now. Make the play. Good jump by the defensive line. Making through. 15. Alexis scramble and Pound knocks him down after a big gain of 10 yards. But you can give them that sort of space when it's 3rd and 25. So it's 4th down, 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go. It's room for a big play. Of course they'll go for it, because I haven't seen a punt out of them all game. Special teams do play a big role, but at the end of the day, it's worth a shot. If they do convert here, they'll be to the end zone about. They had one shot at the end zone. Quarterback left it just short. Dropping back to pass. Defense doing a great job of coverage. Steps up the middle. Intercepted! Huge interception. Chris Wilson takes it away after a batted ball up in the air. Was that the right call? Take it away. At the end of the day, interception is perfect. But now the ball's at the 1 yard line, and the Vikings have to get out of their own end zone. They have no breathing room here. I mean, if you could go in retrospect, I feel like I would just let the ball drop to the ground to avoid the interception here. There really wasn't a fight for the ball. But in the heat of the moment, interception is great. I'm just worried about the possible safety chance here. If there's any negative yards, this will really test the Vikings' composure, especially Seifert, the quarterback, in his first ever start. He's done a heck of a job here. Trying to jump offside. Snap is high. It goes out of the back of the end zone. And Marshall takes their first point via the safety. Devastating. Wow. Now that interception does not look worth it at all. For those who are new to football, safety, 2 points, very rare. But Marshall will also get to receive the ball. I believe that was my first case of the announcer's jinx. Almost spoke into existence. But that's what you got to be careful about when you take an interception at the 1 yard line. It's not how you drew it up. But Marshall will gladly take the points. And I believe a safety punt is backed up. I believe they have to kick it from their own 25 or 20. Or 15, it looks like. I think it's 20, which really gives Marshall almost guaranteed ball in the offensive half. So now I believe you get the option to punt it or kick it off. Vikings will elect to kick it off at the 20, which is 20 yards further back than a kickoff. This one's going to be a long one, but a nice one. Placed at the 40. And the Vikings pounce. They stop him right at the 50-yard line. Just tie him up there. As the players were fighting about something. He said, she said type deal. But Marshall will take over in great field position at the 50-yard line and see if they can finally convert an offensive score. So now Marshall will take over. They're on the 50-yard line. I think it's the 49. The Vikings got to pounce back with another takeaway. Already have 2 interceptions, and that drew the offense, I believe, offside. That's number 2 for a second false start call. False start, not offside. Both teams jumped, but at the end of the day, the offense usually causes the defense. And I think that's one of the more challenging things you see in football, especially as a referee, is when someone jumps, like a false start or an offside, both teams tend to respond to that jump like it's a real play. So right as someone jumps, both teams kind of get in the action. And if you see in the NFL, they always point at the other team because you never really know as a casual fan sitting on your couch who really jumped first. But the refs did a great job of finding out that number 2 in white committed his second false start penalty of the game. Takes a snap, drops back to pass, pressure coming, and he breaks through, but doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Falls down 40-yard. Quarterback did a great job navigating through, but at the end of the day, one man can't get past 3 defenders. Vikings, it looked like the Vikings linebacker crew really talked over it. They really talked over what they're going to do, and looks like they can figure it out here. The Vikings defense looks like they're showing blitz or just bringing 4 right in the line of scrimmage, right at the nose point. Linebackers drop back to the pass. Big throw. Can't get his head around. What a nice ball, but it's way overthrown as the Vikings with a nice stop. It will be 3rd down and long. Two minutes, 25 seconds left to go in this 3rd quarter. Score is Vikings 14, Marshall 2. After the safety, Vikings have 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and some great tackle for losses. 3rd and 13. Marshall almost about 50% in their 3rd down conversions, it feels like, because they've been making some great plays. With the quarterback, false start, offense, number 55. You just know that one. That's the second false start of this drive, which will push him back another 5 yards. Well, Marshall had the ball in Vikings territory at the 49-yard line. Got backed up. First play, false start. Incomplete pass. Got backed up. Again, incomplete pass beforehand. So really hurting themselves. But remains 3rd down. 3rd and 18. If the Vikings secondary can really make a play. Shotgun pass. Hands it off. Catches him sleeping. Head of steam takes a good chunk of 8 or 9 yards. And it's going to be 4th and long still, because when you put yourself in the 3rd and 18 spot, it's really hard to convert. They tried to run the ball and catch him sleeping and make it doable, but it's going to be very hard. You know this Marshall team won't punt. We've seen many opportunities for them to punt it, and they have not shown to punt it. They have their quarterback out there. Well, it's hard to tell who's who because they only have, looks like 18 or so men on the field. So you never know who's playing what position, but looks like In these dying moments of the third quarter, you kind of have to get something close. See if you can put more points on the board. Marshall stepping back. One of his receivers upfield. He's open. Just overthrown. Marshall had a chance to make the game interesting, but the Vikings ultimately will take over right around the 50-yard line. And a score here would be huge. Wow, what a nice ball again. From that lefty quarterback rolling out to the right side. Really leading his team, but you can only do so much there. That was a really hard ball to get. It was overthrown. It's worth a shot, though. Viking secondary playing pretty well. So here comes the offense. Last play was a missed snap over the head. Seifert, though, has remained calm, looks like. Got the cadence, get the handoff. Fulmar gets swallowed up. Thought he was going to break through. Looks like there's a late hit somewhere. But refs are going to eat the whistle. There's a gain of 2 or 3 yards there. Fulmar, though, does have the touchdown for the Vikings. The senior, who's, I believe, plays both sides of the ball, special teams and all. He's had a good coverage play and a touchdown. So he's definitely in contention for player of the game, which is not a real award, but if you want to leave in the comments, you can get player of the day. Seifert gets trapped up, breaks it, and then ultimately loses about 4 or 5 yards there. But again, if you want to leave, who do you think is the player of the day of this contest in the chat? You just say the name or the number and what team. You just say player of the game. And my chat moderator will leave you there. All right, so that is the end of the third quarter. Oh, Seifert dropped back to pass on a big play. He was almost caught by Shea O'Connor. But it's still a great throw by Seifert. Shea O'Connor almost had a touchdown there. Looks like the Vikings punt team will come on, which is played pretty well. The long snapper, Wesley Walker, has been doing a good job here. High snap taken care of. Nice punt. Looks like it will roll, but it's going to be caught by the quarterback, number 15, Do It All. He's got room, tripped up around the 28-yard line as well. Looks like there's some Miscommunication with the referee about a block in the back, and he didn't see it. So we're just going to let the play on as it's been. Looks like Declan Daly there is really confused on why there wasn't a call. But Marshall will take over. Timeout. Yeah, you kind of have to call timeout when you only have so many men and your quarterback's the kick returner. He's got to do it all. He's got to catch some air. And the Vikings are hopeful to put this game away. But there's plenty of time left. 12-minute quarters, 11:43 left in the game or in regulation. Ball's on the 29-yard line. 1st and 10. Marshall. Misdirection. End around after the fake. And it's swallowed up by a handful of Vikings. Nice play. 2nd and long. Vikings have been doing a ton of that. Chasing the ball, getting him down, and really preventing Marshall from moving the ball forward, especially on the run plays. Marshall is doing a decent job throwing the ball here in the second half. See if they can keep doing that. Make sure you subscribe if you're on the channel, Dom Sports Media. For more subscribers and more people we have watching, tell family and friends to tune in on the football games. Just helps us out. As pressure comes, as Wims brings him down. After that, a half sack for Wims and a half sack for whoever else helped join him. Nice play. Now it's 3rd and long. Marshall had a tough time this drive trying to break the line of scrimmage. Shea O'Connor comes in for Sam Macaluso. Shea goes straight to defensive tackle. He kind of plays it all. I believe he's a receiver, a linebacker, an end, a tackle. He's lined up. The throw coming in, fumble, strip sack, Wims. Bounces on the ball. Who's got it? I believe Marshall regained possession, but it's going to be 4th and very long. Of course they're going to go for it in the 4th quarter. We only have so many more chances to go. Clock's running. It's a really nice play. It's number 52. You got to keep an eye out for him. Colleges, start looking at him. Zach Wims, the junior. Been playing very well this game. Again, this looks like a possible punt position, but you never know. It actually really looks like a punt here. Seeing if they're going to do it. The Vikings have someone back to return. And looks like a timeout. Or they couldn't get it set up properly. And both coaches will talk about it. And figure out what they're going to do here. I mean, it's all the time, Marshall went for it on 4th down. I feel like, why would they switch it up? Like, it's worth a shot, and they need it. They only have so many more possessions left in this game. And then a 1st down wouldn't really do them much, but it would get them at least a step closer to a touchdown. And I don't know why they would switch up the approach. It looks like they haven't even attempted a punt all game, and they had many opportunities to. So. Coach is talking about it, getting the sideline ready probably for those offensive players to come on the field if they do get a stop. It's always nice being out here, especially in the first game of this incredibly young season. It's a nice afternoon. The end of August in the summer here in Jordan Stadium. Does look again like they're going to punt it. Let's see how the snap comes out. Didn't even see them try to punt in warm-ups. Snap is low. Almost blocked, but it's a nice punt. Right at the 50, poison they yell, which means don't touch it and run away and let Marshall down the ball right around the 45-yard line. The offense coming back on the field right about where they were last drive. I would say the key components of this drive should be, if I was the coach, I would say try to prolong it. Take it slow, run the ball. Maybe do some screen passes. Don't show them too much, but try to run the clock out and hopefully make it so Marshall doesn't have enough chances to possess the ball in order to score enough points to take the lead. Then Amundsen, of course, the goal here is to score points. That's always the goal for every offensive drive. But the Vikings here are waiting for Marshall to get set up. Marshall has to be tired. I feel like these men, these young boys or young men, have to be in every snap. You saw the quarterback is the quarterback and the kick returner. He might even be on defense. It's hard to tell. Handoff right up the middle. Fulmar finds his lane, cuts back up the middle. Nice play. Gets 5 yards, and hopefully that clock starts ticking. And we can get it down. It's a nice gain of 5 for Fulmar. You can really tell he's got that football sense. He's one of the taller, skinnier running backs, but he's still very agile. He does a great job. He's got a touchdown already. Calling the audible, it looks like Seifert, letting the offense know. Everyone's touching the side of your helmet. Let's see what that leads to. Seifert. Design screen pass, high pass, hauled in. Soto, another catch. Another Vikings first down. Nice play. Ran him out of bounds. I believe the clock runs in high school when it's out of bounds. It's only like 5 minutes. So, you know, Amundsen has not started school yet, so this football team has not had many distractions besides practice every day and just get into it. So when school starts on Monday, the swing of things will start. The Vikings, after that nice screen pass to Soto, hands it off up the middle. Fulmar gets a game of 2 and swallowed up. Nice job from both teams fighting at the line of scrimmage. Really using their strength and giving it all they got. Both teams have gave a great effort so far. Great competition. Lots of fight here. We can see if we can get a touchdown here for the Vikings. Second and long, another audible. Seifert touching the side of his helmet again. Both sides. Lets the offense know. It's going to turn into a run play. Fulmar with room. First down, Vikings. What a nice play. I told you, keep running the ball, taking it slow. Clock's got to run. It's not running right now. There the clock goes. Got to let it run out. 6 minutes and 15 seconds left to go of regulation. Vikings up 12, 14-2. Fulmar stays in as the back. Doing a great job. Another handoff. Gets swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. But at the end of the day, he held on to the ball, got forward yards, and the Vikings doing a great job running down this clock. Seifert's going to go to the sideline to pick up the call, taking their time, jogging back into the huddle. See what Marshall can pull out defensively. I feel like Amundsen has been in charge of this drive, just moving the ball however they please. And it's up to Marshall to see if they can make it stop and make some adjustments. Vikings in the red zone after that first down. Pressure coming! Brought down. Nice play. Number 2, Marshall got him immediately. Looked like a missed blocking assignment where they weren't ready for the blitz. It was a nice play call there. And a heck of a play by Marshall. Set the Vikings back. Clock will still tick, though. We're under 5 minutes to go in regulation. The kicker is looking to warm up. Maybe he will show off his leg. They got to get some yards now. It's 3rd and 10. Or no. It's 3rd and 15. Trouble with the snap. There's the outside. Nice play. Soto gets tackled inbounds, which the clock will still run. You know, they can probably, if I was the Vikings here, I'd probably stall it all the way down to the last second and call timeout just to take that 40 seconds of play clock out. As the coaches will yell to send the field goal unit out, which is going to be a huge test of distance and accuracy. I feel like in high school, you don't see many field goals. This is a long one. So the kicker, Garcia in. It's the same guy who's done the extra point. It's going to be a big kick here. You don't have many options. I guess they could go for it if they're not confident in the kick. But you might as well test the kicker early. See what he's got. I feel like seeing one go through the uprights really gives this kicker a sense of confidence to bring into the conference play. As this first game still counts, and it's a very important game, but it's not as important as these conference games coming up will be. They're going to bring the team out again. Hale, this long snapper. Bryce Reven, the holder, and Garcia, the kicker. Trouble with the snap. Winds it up. It's close. And it's good. Money. Garcia kept it low. Defense didn't try to come and block the kick, which let the low snap do its job, and Garcia got his huge leg behind that one and converts from long range. It's nice to see the special teams at it. Punts were well. Field goals were great. And it's 17-2 now, Vikings. 3 minutes and 31 seconds to go. We're going to kick off. Marshall will receive. Add that one to the highlight reel. Garcia, huge kick. Garcia again to kick off. He's got to stretch that leg out. Doesn't want to injure it. Kickoff team. A big boot. Line drive. That's going to be a touchback. How often do you see that one in high school football? Garcia feeling himself with the leg. Nice kick from the junior kicker. I feel like a kicker in football. They try to. People say it's a corny job. Maybe it's a little nerdy. But man, if you have a kicker this good, as Garcia is booting the ball, plays a huge role. Be very impressed with the special teams and Garcia alone. Marshall will take over. They got to go quick. 3.5 minutes to go. Vikings seeing if they can do another turnover and stall out this clock. Delay of game, it looks. Inside their own 20 offensive points. There were only 2 points that they had was a safety. Does not come from the offense. So now, 2nd and 15 after the incomplete pass and the penalty. Drops back to pass. Nice pass, slant route, caught. Hayon with a huge hit forward, but it's almost a first down. It's going to be 3rd and short. Marshall's got to go quick. They only have so much time to work with. 3 minutes and 5 seconds left on the game clock. Marshall moving things with pace. Sub 3 minutes to go. You got to start using the wideouts. Drops back to pass. Pressure coming. Gets tipped right at the line of scrimmage. Or right as he released it. And it's going to be 4th down. You might as well go for it if you're Marshall. Although we did see them bring out the punt team, and that went pretty well. It's 4th and short, though. It's not the same as the last 4th and 15. It's only 4th and 5. I say only, but 5 yards is really hard to do, especially on 4th down, especially with this Vikings defense standing menacingly right beyond the line of scrimmage. Looks like they're going to run it short. They pulled this play before where they line up all their players right at the line of scrimmage. Looking at some movement before the snap, and there was a flag. Feel like coaches are yelling at illegal formation, but the referee saw exactly what I saw. Then it's going to be a false start. I think on a false start, supposed to play it dead. Slow it down before the play happens, just to prevent the risk of injury from these players. Luckily, no one's shaken up. And that just backs it down to 4th and 10. This is going to be nearly impossible, especially in the dying minutes. Clock is still running. I don't know why. I feel like it should stop on a penalty. But it's 4th and 10. They're doing the same formation. And we're going to do it again. And it works. It's going to be close, right around 1st down marker, but it's going to be short. Vikings take over with under 2 minutes to go. And you can just feel the energy here. Vikings, the sigh of relief. All they have to do is kneel this ball down. I believe Marshall only has so many timeouts they can call. And as it stands now, 17-2. They don't line up in victory formation. Maybe they'll run the ball out. Maybe score another touchdown. Timeout, Marshall. don't know if that was a waste of a timeout, but the clock wasn't running, so it doesn't stop the clock. Maybe they didn't know how to line up. Maybe they'll get some backups in. Who knows? Some notable plays of today's game. Bryce Reeven's touchdown to start the season. His first year playing football for Amundsen was very good. Started his senior year and gets in the action immediately with a huge receiving TD. And Fulmar's touchdown rushing about 5 yards. And Declan Daly's diving interception. And I believe it was another interception by Wilson right at the 1 yard line, which led to the safety where Marshall cashed in their 2 points. Wilson in motion. He takes it. Tries to fight to the outside. Cuts up the middle. He's got room to work with. He's going to go all the way to the 5. Touchdown, Amundsen. He's feeling it. It's a blowout officially. Nice job, Chris Wilson. That's number 2 in red. Vikings will send the PAT unit out. See if they can seal this deal. 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining. That's another touchdown. What a nice play. End around. Tries to fight to the outside. Sizes up the defense. Realizes he can just slice it up the middle. Chris Wilson should be a track star with that speed. Just outran everyone. Plays both sides of the ball as well. It's a great player right there. Nice kick. It's up. It's good. 24-2. It's a nice dominating lead for the Vikings. I was going to bring the kickoff unit out. So if you're watching at home, please subscribe, tell friends. We'll try to broadcast as many games as possible. For those who are wondering, I'm Evan Paddock on the call. Peter Colesman behind the camera. You can please subscribe, tell friends, tune in. It's on Express. But they play once a week, usually on Thursdays, Fridays, or weekends. Kickoff unit here. I'm chanting Leia hit. Menacing chanting. It's just switch over the sideline. It's gonna roll out of bounds. As Wesley almost kept that in. I like that chant. Leia hit. These Vikings really want to get in it. Get in the action. That is the second penalty from the kickoff where it goes out of bounds, but doesn't have much effect in the game. Just get them better field position at the 35-yard line. Clock has not ran much in these past couple minutes. It's been slow. After the Vikings touchdown, point after in this kickoff unit. Marshall seeing what they can do here. Some new Vikings check the game. Number 55, John Martinez. And number 58, Beckett, checks into the game. The snap, the run up the middle. Fighting for yardage, can't get much. There's no 2-minute warning here in high school, so the clock should tick, tick, tick all the way down. And hopefully the Vikings can celebrate this one on a nice, cool summer afternoon. Crocs running same formation. Looks like they're just going to run it up the middle. Taking down their own clock. Maybe they don't want to run too many plays. They're just accepting their defeat. Never seen this formation before in football, but it really brings everyone up to the line of scrimmage. High snap. Caught down. Nice tackle. Yeah, that was Celerio finishing the hit. We're about a minute to go here. Joint Stadium, Vikings. About to celebrate their first win. Vikings defense for the star of the show. With some great touchdown plays from Bryce Reven, Milton Fulmar, Chris Wilson. Some nice highlight plays that we can add to a highlight reel. Hopefully show it around school, because this school, Amundsen High School, should know of the football team. They are a force to be reckoned with early. They're playing very well. Very excited to see what this season brings. Takes the play, looks to pass. It's a trick play. Nice play. Contested catch by the starting quarterback after the trick play. And I believe the clock should run. Number 10, John Berengay. Did a great job trying to get in the way of the pass, but it was just placed perfectly as the clock runs out. That looks to be it. And the Vikings take this one, 24-2. Domination. Vikings undefeated.